Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of our SRC presidential candidacy interviews. We have in our midst one of our candidates or aspirants. Make sure you listen to whatever he has to say. He's going to bring out his vision and his mission, and just make sure you stay tuned. All right. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our man. Please give us your name and then what inspired you to run for the SRC candidacy.
All right. So thank you very much. My name is Jude. BAYIVIELLA. I'm a BSc level 300 computer science student. And actually, this SRC thing started since level 100. When I came to the school, I started diploma. So I came and I joined the university student parliament. So in that form, there was a part that in the near future, what leadership role would you like to have on campus? So I also looked at the campus and it was just a first sight at that time, but I saw that the school was facing a lot of challenges. So I took it upon myself that in the near future, I have to step up for the student front and see how we can work with management to solve some of the problems that we are facing. So on that note, I wrote SRC president on that form that I was filling. But that time it was just looking like fun. But later on, the desire grew and I saw that the students were facing a lot of problems. So I took it upon myself that I have to step up because I have leadership experience and I think I am the best to bring solutions to the student front. So that was where it started and I worked on myself. I also held positions from departmental level and also to SRC level, and I think I gained enough experience enough to lead the student front. So that was the reason why I have to aspire for that position.
Okay. Thank you very much for your answer. We'll move to the second question. We can all attest to the fact that leaders emerges from need, or they emerge in time of need. In your opinion, what are top 3 current issues that students are facing on campus? And how do you plan to address them if you are elected?
Okay. All right. So to start with, there are a lot of problems that we are facing on campus, but since you have narrowed it down to the top 3, I also try to see the top 3 priorities that students need on campus. Now, the first one is a fair academic system. I think our academic system is not fair enough and it's not also transparent enough for the students. So that is one thing that we are trying to make sure that there is transparency, especially on our continuous assessment. We're trying to make sure that the lecturers really mark our scripts, give them back to us, and record so that we know what we have gotten already, so that we work towards the exam to see how we can also pass. Aside that one, we can also see our infrastructural development. Our lecture halls are not in good shape, and there are a lot of potholes that are left for us to fill. So we're also trying to see how we can make sure that we make the classroom conducive for students to learn in one way or the other. Aside that, you have also seen that since the ladies have started, the public health and the nursing students are emerging inside. There are a lot of ladies. I also see that some of the lecturers, we have gotten reports from some of the students that some of the lecturers are also trying to take advantage of them in one way or the other. So that is why we are trying to make sure that we bring in an SRC legal support to the SRC like a lawyer, so that some of these cases, they can always be handled at that particular stage.
Okay. Thank you very much for your answer. Move to the third question of the day. What specific actionable goals are you committing to within the first 100 days if you are elected?
Okay, so you see, we have a lot of policies, but you have to make sure that you have priorities. You make sure that you solve the students' needs first, the ones that are very pressing. So with the first 100 days, we are trying to make sure that our lecture halls are fixed. There are enough funds, and if the SRC have the strength or gotten external support from other NGOs and other organizations, we're also trying to bring the ACs back to the classroom, because during first semester like this, the place is always very warm, and the classrooms, and there's always a lot of lights out issues too. And aside that, we're also trying to make use of the school university plant that we have there. I think sometimes they'll do lights out and your hostel is not having light, and when you come to campus, there's no light there. So we are trying to see how we can liaise with management so that we use the university plant efficiently to ensure that there's doom-so-free on campus. Aside that, we're also trying to make sure that the academic policies that we are bringing on board are enacted before the first 100 days of our leadership if the mandate is being given to us.
Okay, thank you very much. To the fourth question, student welfare is always a top priority, from academic challenges to emotional support and financial burdens. How will your administration make a meaningful difference in students' life?
All right. So with the welfare, we have a number of policies that we are bringing on board. We have also seen that a lot of students are facing financial constraints and other stuff. So we are trying to see how the SRC can also support students with their financial burdens locally. So we are trying to see how we can channel some resources from the SRC to make sure that those of us that are suffering with our school fees and other things, that we also support in a way. And we're also trying to liaise with external organizations to also see how we can support these students on campus. Aside that, we're also trying to see how we can bring SRC shuttles, because transportation is something that is key, and there's a lot of movement within campus and off campus, and the students are always moving from town. And you see the official can-dos, the yellows that we use, the prices that they take is very high. So we are also trying to see how we can make sure that the SRC has its own means of transportation that will be charging students at subsidized prices, so that at least it will also help in one way or the other. And also the market too is very far, and we do cook every day. We go to campus, and we have to go to town and go and buy food stuff and come. So we're also trying to see how we can bring the market closer to campus. Just get a place and go and talk with some of the market women so that they will come closer to us, so that students can always go there and purchase whatever they want to buy, so that they will not be going to town to make sure that there are a lot of expenses on them. So these are just a few of them that I would like to outline before we move to the next.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll move to the fifth question. Leadership is not easy. How do you plan to engage the wider student body and their voice, and make sure that their voices are genuinely represented in your decision making?
All right, so if you check, I've been in this school for a while now, and I've seen past administrations and what they have done, and we've learned from our mistakes. So during my campaign, when I go around, I make sure that I pick everyone's contact that I've spoken with, so that I'll come and engage these people, hear from them, what are the problems that we are facing. And even when I was drafting my policies, I didn't sit at one place just to think that these were the problems that we were facing. I went around, I had engagement with people, and they brought some of their suggestions, and we used those ones to make sure that we bring out our policies. So that was the first step that we took. And actually, I'm also making sure that I engage the student populace even before and after the election, so that when the mandate is being given to us, that kind of symbiotic relationship will be created among us. So with that particular time, we will still have conversations with one another, and whatever grievances that they are facing, we make sure that we take them and send them to the administration level. And we know that the administration to the other executives have come and they have done their part, but we're also trying to see how we can put in measures so that we can work effectively to make sure that the students are represented at that particular level.
Okay. And sorry to chip in, but I can recall that I asked a question, that's like you skipped a particular aspect.
Okay.
We're talking about the emotional support. How do you intend to provide emotional support to students?
All right. So with the emotional support, it needs someone that has emotional quotient that can also relate to students at that particular level. And actually, there are a lot of things that happen, and students need counseling and other stuff. So our administration, if you check our policies, we have peer support. sometimes students are very open to their peers rather than going to meet their maybe lecturers or other stuff. So we are going to create a student peer support where maybe from time to time they always come around and share their problems and get solutions from their friends. And that way, I think it will also help students in one way or the other. So that is what we have for now. But we also try to make sure that we utilize the university counselor in a way to also help students to make sure that their emotions don't lead them astray on campus.
Okay. Thank you very much. So to the sixth question.
Yes.
Let's talk money. Let's talk money. With the finances and also the budgets that have been laid out by the previous, aspirant, leaders, the president, the past SRC president, we can all agree that mostly we have problems with the financial budget. Have problem with the budget. We see some certain things which are written in the budget and we don't understand. How do you plan to make it more transparent, and then also make sure that students understand that what is written here is what we are using to
Okay. So thanks for that question. Money is everything, and whatever that we are saying that we will come and do, it is money that we are going to use. But the thing is that transparency is also key. If you check our policies very well, we have the policy that is just talking about transparency and also feedback mechanisms. So we are trying to make sure that we are not going to hide anything from the students, and we are also going to make sure that whatever we are bringing on board, the students see and we will report to them effectively. So with the finances and things, we are not going to hide anything from any student. We will make sure that whatever we are bringing on board is what the student wants. That is why I have to pass through a lot of channels before it can pass through parliamentary council and also going to academic affairs. And the finances, it's not one person that has to go and sign and can withdraw money. There are three persons: the SRC president, the treasurer, and also the dean of students. And I think these three bodies will make sure that our monies are not embezzled and also used misappropriately. So we are also going to make sure that we use our money judiciously and also use it on things that are pressing on campus. We are not coming for luxury. We are just coming to solve the petty problems that we are facing on campus. So for transparency and on our finance, we make sure that there is feedback mechanisms, and we will always bring back the information. Whatever that we are doing, we will involve the students to let them know that this is what we are doing with the funds that we have.
Okay. So to the next question, working with the school authorities, how do you intend to balance working with the authorities and also making sure that the students' rights are firmly, and making sure that you stand firm on the students' rights?
Okay. All right. So actually, the SRC president is a representative of the students. So I think that no matter the outcome, I always stand by the student and stand firm whatever they want. But the thing is that the management too, we have to work with them one way or the other. And they are also people that have schooled, and they are like our fathers. So when we go to them, we always plead and liaise with them and also have agreement with them that this is what we want them to do for us, so that at the end of the day, we will not be disrespecting them in a way, but we always make sure that we stand firm at the student's side, and whatever that they want, we always help them fight for our rights, because I am also a student and I am only given the nod to represent them. So that doesn't mean that I am part of the management. So whatever be the case, whatever decision that we take as students, and that is what we always say to the administration, and also let them know that this is what we are presenting to them and this is what we want them to do for us. So for the representation, they will be firmly by the students, so that we make sure that whatever that we want to execute, we make sure that we achieve them at that particular level.
Thank you very much. And to our next question, how do you intend to make the school grow in terms of media? You see, the school has a poor image when it comes to the media. How do you intend to do that?
So if you also check our policies very well, I don't know, we have covered everything. We have a policy specifically for SRC Media House. Yes, and I think this is not the first time that we are talking about it. The last interview, that was last year when we were having issues and we came around, we made it mention that we are going to make sure that the publicity of the school is something that we are going to make sure that this is very important. So we have SRC Media House that we are bringing on board, where groups like this on campus will be we brought under one umbrella, so that we will see how we make sure that our school is being something that is being talked about online, social media handles and other stuff. That is why we have been trying to bring the SRC website and also an SRC mobile app where we have engagement and other stuff. And also there was radio station. Actually, we didn't cover it, but we are trying to see how we make sure that if we are able to bring back the radio UTAS, that is what we are trying to call it, so that at least we can have podcast engagement and other stuff. So, and I always say that it's not everything that you must write inside a policy that you must execute, and even sometimes too, there are some other policies that your opponents are having in DS that you didn't capture. But when you are being given the mandate and you know that this policy and this policy is going to help the student, you can sideline it with whatever that you have on board, which you see. So for the media aspect, we have it covered, and we'll make sure that the school is publicized out on media, so that at least our voices are always be heard, and whatever that we are doing, people will always know that there's a school called CKT Utah. So we're also trying to protect the school too.
Okay. So to the next question, many have led before you. What makes your leadership style different, and why should students believe you are the one to do it better?
Right. So a lot of people, I always say that every level 100 can just identify problems on campus. And the thing is that we've all brought our policies, and you can see that the policies are, some of them are the same, others are almost the same. But the thing is that how to execute those policies is a problem, and the mechanisms and the methodologies that you put in place to execute those policies is what is very important. And I have had engagement with previous leaders of this school and also outside, and have gained enough experience, and what I am bringing on board is something that has never been done on campus before, and that is why it's making me the best candidate for the job. And actually, we have covered areas that other aspirants have not covered. We have seen that most of the students are off campus and they don't enjoy some of the facilities that we do close to campus, such as Wi-Fi and also even the developmental project. So if you check carefully, we have policies that we are trying to make sure that the zonal MPs also get some funds so that they can also support the communities that they are staying. What are some of the problems that students are facing around those areas, so that they can also help. And we, those that are the traditional hostels, we are enjoying free data. But those that are staying off campus are not enjoying this. We're also trying to see how we can bring data centers that we can always push data to these people that are off campus once a while, so that they also enjoy this free data that those that are staying on campus that are enjoying. So we are bringing a lot of things, and we are not also looking taking the spirituality aspect out. We also saw it that there are a lot of religious groups on campus, and they are the ones that they are the backbone of the school too. Yes, in everything that happens, prayer is also very important. So also trying to see how we can also support the religious groups on campus during their activities and also some of their festivals, so that we make sure that spirituality and faith is something that is enhanced on campus. And these are the things that is making me the best candidate for the SNC.
Okay. So finally, this is your moment. Yeah. In some minutes, tell the students why they should vote for you.
So as I said earlier, there are a lot of things that we are bringing on board. But the thing is that as a leader, you shouldn't be thinking about now. You should be thinking about those that will come later. Whatever problem that you are facing on campus right now, those that are behind you shouldn't come and face the same problem. That is why we have our long-term projects that we want to leave a legacy behind. So we are trying to see how we can start an SRC hostel, where we will make sure that there's developmental plan on it, maybe 5 to 7 to 10 years developmental plan, so that at the end of the day, within some few years, we'll have this structure there and it will be generating revenue for the SRC. So we'll not be demanding too much on our SRC dues to run one or two things on campus. Aside that, too, the policies that we are bringing on board covers everyone on campus, whether you are living on campus or you are living off campus. And we are also trying to make sure that from developmental projects to academic policies, also to welfare, entertainment is enhanced, and also with the long-term projects that we are having on board, and also spirituality and all those things. So we have covered everywhere, and this is why we solicit for your support and your votes on this weekend, Saturday, 5th of July, that you should vote Jude for SRC #1 on the ballot, and we are not going to let you down, and we'll make sure that whatever that we have planned to execute, we are going to do that and do nothing else. So I would like to leave it here that we continue.
Okay. So thank you very much for joining us, Watchmen. We appreciate your time and your transparency. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right. And to our audience, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for liking. Thank you for your subscriptions and stuff.